The Texans are playing a huge divisional round game at Baltimore this Saturday, and I'm definitely not overthinking it at all. Can the Texans win? Yeah, sure. A lot's got to go right, though. Is it likely? No, but honestly, if we lose, I'm still pretty happy. Now, there's a lot of upsides to this season so far. The Texans have way overperformed their expectations. I had this team optimistically winning 7-8 games, and here we are with a division title and having advanced as far as any other Texans playoff team. That last little bit may be a bit of an indictment on our past struggles, but what are you going to do about that? CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans should hopefully be a winning combo for years to come, and we got to be so excited about that as a city, a team, and a fan base. This year's objective was to figure out what we had in those two, and we did. So I'm already calling this season a win. But I think we can do more. This team, just like the Packers and the Buccaneers, had nothing to lose and everything to gain, unlike the teams we're playing. We're playing with house money this year, and anything beyond that is just icing on the cake. All of those things give us an underdog mentality, and we're going to need that to win. I don't want to compare this against last week's game against the Browns, because I think it was a bit more of an even matchup. But if you compare this game to the Packers-Cowboys game from last week, you can see something similar. I don't want to be the one to say that this was the case, and obviously I'm not in the room, but it kind of felt like the Cowboys were looking past the Packers, and by the time that they pulled themselves together and realized they were playing a game, they were already in too deep a hole and they couldn't climb out of it. Similarly, I want to preface this with the notion that I think the Ravens are a team that places a premium on preparation. My guess is the Ravens will come to play and be ready to play, but if they do what the Cowboys did and look past the Texans could jump all over them quick, and I like the Texans' odds in that case. Alright, here's how I think we can win. I hate to say that it comes down to one player, but it kind of comes down to one player, and it's Lamar Jackson. Everyone knows it's Lamar. If Lamar comes out playing badly, which is not likely at all, we're good. I think take Lamar out of the equation, we're the better team. If he's playing like the MVP candidate he's been through much of this season, we have to do two things to win. We got to make him beat us through the air, number one, and I don't want this to sound like some sort of lazy quarterback-y take. I mean, we need to neutralize the run game. Don't let Gus Edwards or Justice Hill get going, and certainly don't let Lamar break the game with his own running. Keep him in the pocket and make him and his receivers execute for 10 to 12 play long drives. Number two, we got to make him feel like he needs to be the hero. If we get him playing hero ball by coming out swinging, putting up one or two scores on our first few drives, and ideally putting us in the lead, but at least keeping up with them, I like our chances. Let's be clear. Lamar can take over the game for any one drive at any one time. It's kind of inevitable. But if we keep that pressure on him, there's always the chance that if he feels like he has to do that every drive, some of Lamar's poorer tendencies, these issues with ball security, trying to force throws that just aren't there, can creep into his game. And if that Lamar starts to show up, especially in the second half, this defense that has just been feasting on ill-advised throws is gonna feast. Did I say feast too many times? I did. Now, how do we get to this victory and do those things I said? Number one, let's keep Lamar off the field. Sustained drives could be a challenge for the Ravens, just because I think their receivers have had some issues with consistency throughout the season. You had that one game where they were dropping everything, but I think it's a boon for the Texans. Basically, I'm going to tell you what every harebrained football wonk will tell you. We got to establish the run. I love these 75-yard touchdowns that we've been blessed with, especially over the past couple of weeks. They're great, but they need to be paired with disciplined drives that eat clock and wear down the Ravens' defense. The second thing we got to do on our side is minimize the explosive plays. This has been biting us all season. We cannot let the Ravens score at will. We don't win that game. We got to make them earn it every single drive. Don't let Zay Flowers or OBJ get behind our defense. Don't let Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews, if he's playing, turn a 5-yard reception into some massive yak play. And again, keep Lamar contained in the pocket. If he can break 10 to 20 yard runs at will, it's going to be a long day. I noticed it in the Browns game where we were playing a lot more too high looks than normal, and it seemed like it kind of worked out, and that might have been a response to the Colts game, to the Browns in-season game where you just had receivers burning us every single drive. If we can minimize that, I think we stand a good chance. So now what do I think is going to actually happen? Ultimately, my guess is this is going to be a close back and forth game. Whoever wins. Let me tell you though, if we get up 24-0 early, I am going to be unbelievably nervous. And then if we do a fake punt, I might actually throw up. I don't think that's going to happen though. Now, I could be a rational adult and tell you that the Ravens probably win on a last-minute field goal 26-24, but I'm not that, so I'm going to say the Texans win 30-21 with the final nail in the coffin being a quick strike TD to Dalton Schultz off of a recovered fumble on a Lamar strip sack. Am I delusional? Probably. Tell me what you think, though.